of a movie.
That's amazing.
I like put them on my wall, like Polaroids, still shots from with like this layer of it. It's a weird time.
Okay, wait, so Mary Poppins Every Day, excellent. Did you try out for this version of it?
No, I didn't know. But when I first moved to the city, I knew that was coming, and I just really wanted to be in the ensemble of Mary Poppins on Broadway, and so I started taking gymnastics lessons.
Wait, you're really going to learn to be good enough in a month.
Because it was coming in the next. I moved here in 2004, and so it was like 2 years till it was coming. So I started. I can do a back tuck and a standing back handspring.
How can that sound like Mama who bore me foot flip?
I learned how to do them, and then one day I really hurt my wrist, and so I stopped.
Freaked you out?
Yeah, mentally, mess with my.
You have to get back on that horse.
That's what made that important to me. I don't want to hurt myself.
So now you'll never be in the chorus of Mary Poppins. Smallest loss ever. Okay. Okay, we discussed community theater. Any roles in high school I need to know about?
No, I never did any. I did one role in my high school for theater, and it was in the one act that was kind of like that turned into Dial M for Murder. Sorry, wrong number.
Yeah, sorry, wrong number. Oh, that's
right?
creepy. Who were you?
I was the police chief. That kind of like didn't understand.
Doesn't believe it.
Yeah, that didn't believe it. It was really weird. The girl that played the woman was like she would improv and like all the time in this, and so the dialogue we did we would like just make up because it was directed by students. So they were like, "That's fine, sounds great." So like the dialogue made no sense because she would just start making stuff up, and then I'd have to intern and make
Did you
stuff
yes
up.
and her?
Oh, sometimes.
How'd you wowie?
No, but it was fun. I mean,
but did it add another half hour to the show?
No, we managed to keep it, it's nice and sync. Yeah.
I hear ya.
Didn't follow the original script at all, but
How come you weren't doing
original
musicals in
running
high
time.
school? Did you guys not do them? Did you go to Crazy Parochial School or something?
I just went to public school, and they had a good program, and the teacher who directed all the shows was really stellar. I just never really, if you don't really like make friends in that community, then it's hard to go. Like I didn't make a lot of friends in the kids at my school that did. I didn't have a lot of friends at all in my school, to be honest.
Who were your friends? What was your group?
They went to other schools.
Imaginary George Glass? Other schools?
But they went to another school that I made up.
Exactly. So I'm sure. Well, how did you meet friends at other schools?
I used to. Well, this is kind of. I grew up in a very folk music community. My parents were both folk musicians, like semi-professional, and they were kind of hippie-ish. And we always go to the Philadelphia Folk Festival every summer, which is this really great 4-day grassroots music festival. Some of the best music I've ever seen has been given to me through that medium. And so I grew up going to a lot of concerts like that, like a lot of local kind of like Tom Paxton and stuff like that, and like all these, Steve Goodman. I don't think I actually saw him. I think he also died before I couldn't see him in concert. But my dad was, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. It's a really dire day, and I'm trying my best to clean this down. But I grew up with a lot of folk music, and I met one of my really good friends when I was like a little kid, before I could even speak at one of these folk events, and she's in my band now.
Her name's Sunshine.
No, her name's Heather.
Heather? Okay,
Yeah.
and
And two of my other best friends I met through her, and then my other really good friends I met doing community theater, because they went to other schools, but we would all go to this theater to rehearse, and those were kind of the kids that were my friends. So I would all day I'd be in school and not having any friends. I had one friend, and he's still my friend. His name is Eric. Yeah, that's right.
And that was it?
Pretty much.
And were you like an outcast, or people just ignore you? Or would they meet
kind of ignoring me? They weren't, me. I think they all think that I just.
You don't have that crazy
hated it.
hairstyle. It's being waving hairstyle. That's not cool.
No, I didn't have that. Yeah, people would have made fun of me.
That would have made fun of you. Come on. Of course they would have. Go on.
I think everybody thought that I hated it there, and they were 90% accurate in thinking that. So I think people just kind of thought that I was really angry all the time, because my face, if I'm just complacent, not doing anything, looks like I want to kill someone.
You should be Asian Joe. And what about SATs?
Oh, terrible! Really bad student. And actually, I'm technically a high school dropout. Yeah, because it was it's a really long story. I don't want to bore everyone. But it was I tried to do homeschooling, to get my grades up to go to college, and then like it didn't work out. We didn't have the money for it, and so I ended up just the next thing I knew, like I wasn't going to school, and then that was when I got my first movie. So things just kind of started picking up and moving really fast, and I just never really like turned around.
Do you want to get your GED?
Oh yeah, definitely at some point. I think I was just reading Billy Joel's biography, and I found out that he didn't get his until he was like 50. So I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I don't feel like I need to hurry.
When did you drop out of school?
It was my senior year in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who's teaching you?
No, I don't know, the books.
When your version of homeschooling was like, I'm going to read myself?
No, I mean, we actually went for a legitimate, we went to do it, like we put in a transfer and I was going to do like internet schooling because I started acting when I was like 13, like when I was 14. When I was 15, I did my first show in New York at MTC. And so when I would go away from school and I would be tutored and my grades would be amazing. Then I'd go back to my school and I wouldn't get really good grades because of all the other stuff that becomes, you know, the high school experience. And so if I was one-on-one, I knew I could do it. So I tried to do that like in my last like few months of like senior year to get my grades up. But the next thing I knew, like it takes a lot of money to join a homeschooling program, and I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean the ones that we looked at, and so we just kind of like were in the process of doing it, me and my family. And then the next thing I knew, like I got like a couple of jobs in a row, and it just kind of became this thing that we weren't really worrying about. Because I started reading like crazy. I started reading more than I did when I was an actual student.
That was so bad you got a movie. Anyway, that was sympathy. Okay, so this one, SAT is what?
I took them 3 times and I got the same score every time.
Really?
Yeah. 1180. I really wanted a 1200, and so but every time I got an 1180.
Did you go to Santa Kaplan? That's what I did.
What?
Santa Kaplan.
Oh, no. I know, I didn't really study for them. But I thought after taking them twice, I would do better. I thought I knew how it worked, but I guess I didn't.
You guys learned those math tricks. Like, what was your split?
It was, I can't remember what my split was.
Oh, I totally had mine memorized. It says, it's 1220.
Oh,
600
that was my dream.
I could have tutored you. You should have called me. Now it's like you have to write an essay. I would have gotten like a 2 because like I can't write essays. I got like my grease blurb any longer. Like really said that this week, Ashley. Okay. Okay. So wait. Any of the shows you need to talk about that you're obsessed with as a child?
That sort of started it, and then I just did my high school musicals and all that stuff.
Were you trying out professional like this one was?
No, I didn't. My senior year of high school, my school did Les Mis.
Really? Oh, the high school version?
Yeah.
Instead of 3 hours?
And my high school director, the rehearsals lasted the entire year because he's obsessed with Les Mis.
Performances, right? That's hilarious.
But I didn't do it. I didn't do my senior show.
What the?
I know.
Why?
Well, it was a mixture of things. I was doing the community theater. I was doing Honk at the community theater, and I was cast as the understudy for all of the male leads. And so I thought,
you had understudy in high school in case during those 2 performances they didn't come on? Oh, come on!
Right, and so I decided that it was not. I wanted to focus on college auditions and all that stuff. And so I
turned it down. How much hatred?
Drama. There's still drama from it.
I believe it.
You don't even want to know. But then I came here my senior year and I auditioned for the Sound of Music tour, and so I did that after.
Who were you, the Nazi?
Bravo. Yeah.
I taught the Sound of Music and I never got cast. It was the biggest Jewish mug. I guess I'm like Mother Amos.
You could have gotten something.
Not like they took anybody. Like, oh, that child, it's fine. They lost me. Okay, so who was your Maria?
Her name's Lindsay K. Northen, and she's actually in Wicked right now. She's one of the Glinda covers.
Really? And so you never got to be a child in Sound of Music. That's the fun part. Ralph was sort of boring.
I loved it.
Really?
You got to become evil. You get to be sweet and sing a song and dance, and then you get to become evil.
Sounds like someone else's role I know that you're doing right now. Rapist? And then I did a show. I didn't know I was raping her. Okay, let's discuss your first Broadway show. How did you get it? Why did you take it? The truth of it is, they take the biggest stinker.
It came into my life.
It came in my life.
I auditioned for In My Life in August of 2005.
Had you read the script and you still auditioned?
Yeah.
This is the life of an actor, people.
I had just gotten my equity card in the North Shore Music Theater doing
what?
a production of Fame.
Holy shit. Who were you? Lamb chops?
I was no.
Oh, I know.
That was Nick Piazza. I want to make magic. That's
Because the movie was amazing, the TV show was a headache, and the musical was like, ouch, you out. I'm sure it's more fun to be in than it is to watch.
Totally. I feel like you were in an episode of Saved by the Bell, kind of.
That actually is totally fun. Everybody's dream.
But I met my agency through that show, and that was the first thing that they sort of sent me out on. And I auditioned.
You booked it?
I booked it. Jessica Bovers wrote with me in my final audition. And
what was your actual? What did they tell you to do for the audition for My Life?
They didn't give you much preparation. They just told you he has Tourette's. And so,
people, he has Tourette's.
And just sort of, go for it. And so I did, and I did this. I had a blast. That experience was incredible. I mean, I think from an outsider point of view, you would think that on the inside we were all, upset and tormented, but we sort of knew what it was when we were going into it, and so we knew that we probably weren't going to be there for very long, so we decorated for every holiday at the Music Box.
Every holiday? How many were there? Flag?
We opened on October 20th, 2005, so we had Halloween, Thanksgiving, and we almost made it to Christmas. We still celebrated.
This is sad. But you guys all knew it was a headache, but did you have to keep it secret from, like, Joe Brooks? Weren't you like, we think it's great, slash?
Well, everyone tried to make it work, everyone was there just doing their job. And I have to say that Jessica Bovers and Christopher Hankey and David Turner, they did so much work with that show from the day we started in the rehearsal space to the end. One great thing about Joe Brooks is that he listened to his actors, and so he really let them, muddle through a lot of the stuff that was there previously, and so we had a blast.
I mean, it wasn't awful, it was just weird. It was just bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, I was proud to be a part of something that people had strong opinions about.
And you were the understudy? People, by the way, did not strong opinions, had one opinion. It wasn't like a variety. It was it wasn't controversial, it was simply. But you understudied all the guys?
I understudied Christopher, the guy who had Tourette's. I understudied the guy who hit the girl in the
signature.
Yeah. No, he hit her with a car and killed her and sent her to heaven. But and then I understudied all the male and female ensemble members as well.
That's amazing. Did you ever go on a drag?
I did.
What was it like?
It wasn't drag necessarily, but there was
Don't cover up now. You're already festive.
They gave me the women had these sort of skirt things, but they gave me pants and like a
culottes? Like cool pants or like?
No, pants.
Okay.
But the coats came out and looked like a little.
Was it a skirt? Shorts and skirts.
No, it was not.
Okay.
But I did have to put blue lipstick on and blue eye makeup and.
Any photos?
Possibly, I don't know. I don't really take pictures.
It's on the website.
I know. Incriminating photos of me with blue makeup on, but I did. I went on for the ensemble a couple of times, but I never went on in my 2 roles.
In your lead roles, that's kind of sucky.
Yeah, but I'm making it for right now.
Exactly. P.S. Ever miss a show?
Nope.
Ever miss a show? Nope. Get old school and actually talk about how you decide whether to miss a show or not.
Oh, it's a really simple kind of process that I go through. It's I go until I absolutely can't, and I haven't reached that point yet, or until the point where it's just going to bring the show down. Because if if vocally it's really, really weak, and it's like I could go out there and get through it, but if I'm going to go out there and bring the ensemble down, like vocally, then it's like you have to weigh that place where when are you just being like foolish, and when should you just suck it up and sit one out. You know what I mean? But so far,
I remember, I think my friend went to go see Sunny in the Park, and before the show they were like, we have an announcement to make. Brenda Peters is sick and cannot sing a note. No, I was like, the bad news is Brenda Peters is sick and can't sing a note. The good news is, she's going on! Good news! What? Crazy? So anyway, I appreciate that. Alright, let's discuss audition. How did you hear about Spring Awakening? Did you get a tape? What happened? How did it all happen?
I went to the EPA to start.
Okay.
Yeah,